Shelter is a bit of a misnomer. What makes us so successful is that we're more than just a meal and a bed for the night. We have such comprehensive services in our programs. We expect every single person who walks through our doors to succeed, and they do. Over 85% of our graduates go on to permanent housing. They work really hard to get back on their feet.
We're ordinary people. I manage a real estate office in Burlingame, but for 3 months, because I couldn't save any money, I lived in the back of my car.
I and Roxanne both ended up with some health problems. We ended up running out of money, and we ended up being homeless for about 3 months. And then, of course, we found the shelter network.
Got a great job driving buses, 23 years. We've had some family problems. Not knowing all that was going to happen, lost our place to live. For 2 months we were homeless.
Now I am a bedroom captain for a big hotel, and I have a real nice cozy apartment, and I'm real happy there. But a few years ago things were not going so well.
Tina and her son became homeless when she and her partner moved here for a job and it fell through. For others, it's a medical crisis, a family breakup, or financial problems that get out of hand. All around us in this community, working in offices and factories and stores, there are people whose lives for a little while fall apart. These are the people we help.
We're devastated and we don't know what to do. So we sleep in our cars, and during that time we're looking for jobs, getting ready for interviews, and we used the supermarket stores' restrooms to clean ourselves, get ourselves ready to go to these jobs, interviews that we had.
There are so many fears that go on inside. You manage, but there's fears. Your co-workers, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? I survived. I say I survived it, and I survived it with the help of the shelter.
Homelessness is a very scary thing, and the first thing we want to do is make sure that they feel safe and welcomed into our program.
Being here is like a safe haven. Are you hungry? Do you need something? We make sure that they have bedding. They know that they are safe, and there are people here that really care about them.
Shelter network, that was that was a lifesaver right there. It's like you're in the middle of the ocean swimming around, and then it's like a lifesaver, you know, life preserver, I should say.
It's unbelievable to go into a place and feel wanted, hugged. You feel all that, warm, everything about the whole entire process. You can go and you can talk to them, and you felt like someone would listen and care.
At our 7 shelters, along with safety and security, we have a very structured program. The expectation is that people will succeed. Our facilities are clean and sober. You have to look for work, and you have to look for housing. When you're working, we expect you to save 50 to 70% of your income so that you have money to put down on a deposit when you do find an apartment. This is not a place where you just drift along.
My case manager, she was tough, and but she knew we could do it. She knew. But she was tough. She is. She's a good person.
It may take a week, it may take a month, but all of a sudden it clicks and they're saving money. And that case manager guides them through job search if they don't have a job, or housing search, or getting their child back into school, and cleaning up credit and budgeting.
Between, say, the end of June and to the end of August, I was able to save $2,400.
We managed to save $3,000 in 4 months in order to get our apartment.
Just sitting down and teaching me how to budget my money, that was the first time in my life I've ever done that. And from that time frame to this day, I still use that same paperwork to kind of keep myself where I am, because I don't want to go back.
What we do is provide resources, and we match these resources with the individual needs or family needs. For the adults, it's about housing and job opportunities and self-discipline. But what about the children? 40% of our people that we care for are children. It's a whole different story for them. Kids live in the moment. They need and deserve to be happy and be treated correctly and have a positive and healthy environment where they can experience being a child.
This shelter is like no other shelter. Usually you think of a shelter as a tent or cots in a gymnasium or something. Here it gives you a sense of hope, a sense of pride.
The first thing I said was, is this a shelter? It was just way too nice to be a shelter. It was like moving into a house.
Unfortunately, there are more people that need our help than we have room for. We have to do more, but space for new shelters is hard to find. Few people want shelter facilities next door. One of the programs we're very excited about is Rapid Rehousing. It gives people our support services but puts them immediately in apartments back in our own community.
If the shelter network hadn't helped us with the move-in cost of this apartment here, we wouldn't have this apartment now.
If a single adult or family come to us and they're working and able to sustain rent but just lack the savings, we'll give them the money to move in. With Rapid Rehousing, some of these people never have to go into a shelter at all. They can just move on with their lives. I've been doing this for the better part of 20 years because I want the community that I live in to have a safety net. If you want to help, there are all kinds of ways. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can advocate. You can work with us to overcome homelessness, one family at a time, one person at a time.